a world that's going faster and faster, what do we tend to want to do? We don't want to go faster. We want to just kind of get balanced.
And so being able to fight your way through this is not the way. In the age of speed, it's being able to reach forward, engage.
Instant impact, lasting influence. Are we doing that? You can take this and make a video and do it within minutes
To attach an emotional quotient to this difference you make in people's lives.
We want to build resiliency. We want to overcome obstacles. We want to engage leaders and build successful teams. We put those things together, that's full speed ahead. I mean, then it gets easier. People are feeling like they're on a mission together. They're locking arms.
Look at a high performer, you likely know who they are. And instead of doing what they're not doing, try this. Do what the competition is not willing to do.
We're creatures of what? Habit. We are also creatures of decision-making habits. And to be a creature of decision-making habits, we can look back over our defining moments and realize some decisions work well for us and some decision-making habits need to be let go of. Why not starting now? Yes, we can embrace speed, but if we don't figure out how to harness it, it can be damaging.
When you force yourself to do what the competition is not willing to do, you create ripple effects in people's world.
What I love about this Poscente is that it's hilarious, it's fun, it's entertaining, it's engaging, and it's practical.
Defining moments are moments of emotional intensity. What happens from a defining moment is we make a decision. You ever heard a speaker, you get the impression they're saying, take my advice, I'm not using it. So just decided to have fun. And while I'm having fun, what have I been doing the entire time? I'm selling. I'm selling ideas. I'm selling concepts. Because I've understood from Aikido that when there's an oncoming force, you don't fight against it. You use that oncoming force to your advantage. What if fear is high and confidence is low? That gap will always impede your performance. So flipping that gap ends up being the primary objective before focusing on what you need to do.
I got to place number 11th in the world in a racing, in my sport, in my passion, from what I learned from Vince.
I looked at your agenda. It said motivational speaker. You're salespeople. You walked in here, sat down, crossed your arms, and went, go ahead, motivate me.
I know you're all tax, CPA, accounting people. And you're all going, where's the data? I'm looking for data.
When we're full speed ahead, these new teams that we create are pretty exceptional.
We did the little things from gold dots to, the sensory deprivation, all those little things, and they all come together. Maybe that's enough. It isn't. Because every once in a while you come face to face with the monster. We know what people are like that do that. Got to wake up Post-it notes behind them. They're driving down the road with their knees because they're on the cell phone, putting on mascara at the same time. Sure, you can embrace this speed, but being able to harness it well. There's micro drag and macro drag. Micro drag are things that we do on a daily basis that hold us back. The second they own the solution is the second they're allowed to innovate.
I don't think there's a better feeling in the world is to have contributed to not just the professional part of somebody's life, but the personal part of who they are.
You have an expertise that you give people in their lives.
We're interrupted, the national average, let's say 6 minutes into a task, and to get back on task, if we get back on task at all, is between 23 and 30 minutes. If we get back on task at all. More research coupled in. 80% of interruptions are of little or no value. 80%. If you factor that over the course of a year, you, in your life, in the last 12 months, spent 744 hours of interrupted time of little or no value. And who's responsible for turning that around? Yeah, each of us. How? By becoming more conscious that this is interrupting us. being conscious of the frequent dings on an interruption device. Right now, get a thought of what you want to create, what you want to build, what you want to be a part of, the friends you want to make, the family you want to be a part of, the family you want to create, the difference in other people's lives. Now, as you instill that, put your hands together. And as you start to, go ahead, and put your hands together, start to feel that, rub your hands together, wiggle your butt and go, ooh, I would love to do that. You're not wiggling your rear, you're not getting the full effect, if you know what I mean.
I feel like at the end, you really can take what you learned here and use it in a practical way in your life to move you toward whatever that goal is, whatever that emotional buzz is.
Full Speed Ahead is first about alignment, that every single person in that room has an emotional connection to where they're headed, what they're creating, what they're building together to get past those obstacles, to be more resilient, and to really pull together as a team.